Hey man, what's up?
My man, how are you?
How you doing, Tristan?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Moon Fever. Congratulations on the album Forever Sleep. I listened to it a couple times this morning and stuff like that. My favorite song's Forever Sleep.
Um,
That's a
all right. Well, that's a gimme.
yeah, that's a great song. Um, that
Thank you
album
so much.
that album just came out what, last month?
This month, let's see, 6 days ago now, it came out on the 14th.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, because I got January 31st, so but still, it just came out. It's new.
All good, man. It got pushed around a bunch, so it was pretty confusing for me too. I'm the singer, so I'm the last to know everything.
Right? Yeah.
So there you have it.
Cool, cool, cool. Let's go back to like your early days from in high school, actually.
Oh
Did
wow, we're really
did you
deep diving.
yeah, did you play any sports?
Yeah, actually, I was really sporty until I started smoking weed later on in high school.
Uh,
Yeah, I wrestled all throughout from the time I was 4 or 5 years old. That was probably one of the first sports that I got into, and then I got into baseball naturally because my father was, a huge fan of baseball. So, I was watching that a lot growing up. I tried getting into football. I really want to get into football, when I got into high school, but I'll just give you the meat of it. My grades were dog shit. Sorry,
uh,
I don't know if you can swear on here. My
yeah,
grades were horrible, so I never could make it onto the field. So I just kind of gave that a toss too. So
cool,
yeah,
cool.
I was 40 when I was younger. Then music found me later on in school and drugs. So
Cool,
that'll
cool.
that'll get you out of being a good athlete student.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Same thing when I was in school. I took photography and I got an F. I flunked. Yet now I got covers of magazines. So like, if you're not into what they want you to do, you're not into it. Like I wanted to do concert
That's
photography,
right, man.
you know, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's exactly it. I just school was not my jam. It never was. I was a kid that was just still am, I guess, arguably, that was just riddled with ADHD. So I was bouncing off the walls, getting suspended and expelled. And, to be brutally honest, I never even ended up graduating. That's how
Uh-huh.
horrible I was at high school. So that's okay though.
Yeah,
I guess singing kind of worked out so far. We'll see.
yeah, you're living the dream now, right?
That's right, man. So it feels. So it
Uh,
feels. Thank you very much.
cool, cool, cool. Did you collect anything as a young kid?
Oh, well, that's another thing too. Like this whole anime fad is yeah, it's been pretty huge on the mainstream within the past 5 to 10 years, and that all stemmed from Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, which was
Right.
huge when I was a kid, and I just didn't give a fuck about it. I was outside riding bikes, jumping shit, ding dong ditching with my friends. I was kind of an old school kid growing up, so
Right.
it was not a lot of video games for me and a lot of outside um, hooliganry, if you will,
Yeah.
with my friends. So
So, what's your feeling about like vinyl making a comeback and even cassettes and stuff like that?
I'm absolutely in love with it. I think streaming absolutely murdered, being a musician for a lot of artists.
Right.
It's made it difficult. That's been a very hot topic within the industry for the past 5 or so years. So the fact that there's the fact that something attainable, physically attainable, could
Right.
be popular again. One, it's huge for the artist, but two is a vinyl collector myself.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like listening to a mono record. I feel like that's one of the truest forms of listening to music is throwing a vinyl on. Cassettes, and that's another thing that's just nostalgic for me because my dad had a case of cassettes in the car. He had
Uh-huh.
65 Impala that he would take me to school in. It wasn't a nice one. It was a shit bucket. Killer
Uh-huh.
car, but
Uh-huh.
fucked up paint, seats weren't nice, but the
Yeah.
cassette player worked. And that's what
Uh-huh.
we rolled and that's what we listened to. So for me, for nostalgic purposes and I guess business purposes too now, it would be killer if
Uh-huh.
vinyls and cassettes started making a big comeback.
Cool, cool, cool. I know a lot of bands are doing the vinyl, but they're doing like limited editions of each one, and each one's a different color. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been that's totally because all the I have a bunch of old school records, and so they're all, the majority of them are black besides my
Right.
prized possession white Motorhead vinyl.
Uh-huh.
But all the color blast records that have been coming out lately, I think are so cool. And I think we did that on ours. I don't know. Again, there's another thing that I wasn't totally sure about, but I think we did that on ours too. So look out for
Cool,
that.
cool, cool. Let's get
By the
down.
way, just to clear it up for the listeners, this is iced tea. All right. I know it's
Uh-huh.
11 o'clock in the morning, but I ain't drinking yet.
Uh-huh. Okay. If you start wobbling, then I know what's in there. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's go down the tracks and give me a little bit of insight in each song, okay?
Sure.
Cool. Let's start off with Getting Loud.
Getting loud. Yeah, that's a song that I wrote about social anxiety, really. Believe it or not, I fucking hate going out.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say I hate going out. I like to go out and have a good time, but I really dropped off of the whole going out and partying thing.
Uh-huh.
After my high school and hard, earlier 20s hard drug days. So, uh, yeah, man, it's just about kind of getting over that fucking voice that's in your head. You
Uh-huh.
just gotta pick up and move on, man. Because there's been so many times where I'm like, man, I don't want to go do this, or I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm dreading something, and then I go and do it, and I'm like, fuck, this is actually awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Same,
just a deeper meaning on what that's about for you.
right? I mean, same thing with me. When I got a photo shoot, a concert or something to do, I get home like 12, 1 o'clock. I'm not a young guy no more. So like I'm like saying, I don't want to go, but I want to do the pictures, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just don't want to go because it's too late for me, you know.
And where am I? Where am I hearing that accent from?
I'm from New York.
Knew you. I didn't want to say something. You're gonna be like, I'm from Philadelphia and call me an asshole, but I was like, ain't that the thickest East Coast accent I've ever heard, man? I
Yeah,
love it, dude. I got a lot of families on the East Coast. I got a lot of family on the East Coast, so I feel like I'm at home with you.
cool, cool, cool. How about Nothing Left to Lose?
Nothing left to lose. That's there's some of these, like Nothing Left to Lose is a pretty open interpretation song. I mean, it's about losing a relationship, losing a, fill in the blank. I try to make some of these songs, I'll get a wild hair in my ass every now and again and do something different, but I do try to make a lot of these songs not so specific because I think that there's some power in finding, an interpretation in the song for yourself. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like there's a couple songs where like I'll write for me and you can tell what it's about or it's a story and it's correlating, but there's also songs that I like to write that just give you that general feeling, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it gives you the outline to make it what you want. Because I know what it is for me, but I'm
Right.
also kind of not telling you and I'm leaving it
Right.
open for you. Just my little nerdy introspect on songwriting.
Cool, cool, cool. How about Forever Sleep, which is my favorite track?
Fuck, Forever Sleep is cool. This one holds a special meaning in my heart because when I joined this band, there was an original 6 songs that were already written and tracked and recorded, polished. They
Right.
just hadn't had any lyrics or melodies on them or anything like that yet. And when I got pitched, hey, there's this band. Do you want to do this? Here's some tracks. Here's 6 tracks from them. Forever Sleep was like the first or second one that I heard,
Right.
and I was like, this is a hit right
Uh-huh.
here. I
Okay.
know this is gonna be good. So yeah, that was the first one that made me fall in love with this band, and I'll never forget. I wrote that song within like 30 fucking minutes,
Uh-huh.
40 minutes. I've never been so inspired in my life. So yeah, that's a favorite song of mine.
Yeah. Cool, cool. How about Taking Cover?
Taking cover. What can I say, man? Great song. World's on fire when everything's burning down.
Right. Yeah.
Take cover.
Right. That's as long as you're not in Florida or California, you're in good
For
shape.
sure.
You know?
Can I take one quick break and mute this real quick?
Sure.
Awesome. Sorry, one sec. I just got something I gotta get to. Sorry about that. Someone's just getting home and my dogs are going off.
Yeah. That's why I just hope my dog sleeps because if he hears the mailman,
I
the UPS truck, forget it. The
Dude,
interview's
I'm
all.
like, I know, I'm like, fuck not now. I'm like, take cover.
Uh-huh.
Get these
Yeah,
motherfuckers on a leash.
yeah, yeah. One time my dog, heard the door. He ran right through the backdrop. It all got knocked over the backdrop behind me. It's all on the floor, but I'm still doing the interview. So like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happens.
yeah. My dog just took a shit on the floor 10 minutes ago, so that was
Yeah,
fun.
cool, 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 cool. How about I'm gone?
I'm gone. I guess to get a little bit more personal, I'm gone is about abandoning, but me being the abandoner, I feel like a lot of times in my life it's been though it's not the right choice to make, I've fucking left
Uh-huh.
relationships, friendships, just like that. I'm gone. So that was kind of a tip of the hat to being a fucking asshole sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So yeah,
yep, yep. How about live fast, die young?
that one's pretty self-explanatory.
Uh-huh.
Live fast, die. It's honestly, if I'm being completely honest, dude, it's our band's least favorite song
Oh
to
yeah.
play. To
Uh-huh.
Yep, it's our band's least favorite song, and the reason that is because I think that's okay. So Forever Sleep was the second because that was the first, and I'll tell you about that song, dude, because I hope it answers questions for some people that are watching. Why we feel the way we do about that song. I guess now is a good opportunity. Um, I when I wrote that song, I was joining this band. There was another version of Moon Fever
Uh-huh.
before I joined. And I made the wrong decision on that because I should have just, not to say I didn't come in and do my own thing, but I should have left the outside ideas, just I should have left the outside shit out of my head. So I wrote that song kind of not knowing, like, does Mitch, the guitar player and,
Right.
and fucking majority owner of the band, I'm like, does he want is this something? Does he want the old stuff, or does he want me to just go full bore me and do the new stuff? And thank God that's what he wanted. But yeah, Live
Right.
Fast Die Young was just a cheeky, I'm young,
Uh-huh.
live fast, die young, blah blah, summertime. There's no fucking conveying message behind it. So,
Cool, cool.
anyways, there's my long-winded answer to why we all hate Live Fast Die Young.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. If someone's trying to get into the business and stuff, just breaking in a band, what would you tell them the pros and the cons?
That's such a loaded question.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's tough because my dad
Uh-huh.
he was in a band called Second Coming in the late 90s, and they were signed by Capitol Records, and they did the tours and the whole shebang. And so I grew up, watching and idolizing my dad, and wanting to do exactly what I'm doing right now. And I
Uh-huh.
always remember him telling, he never stiff armed me about it, but he was definitely like, don't do it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he knows the bullshit that comes with it. But he's also, like, as a singer himself, of course, as a
Uh-huh.
father seeing your son kind of fucking, take liking to what you're doing. Of
Right.
course, you're gonna nurture it if that happens. But in the same breath, he's also like, don't fucking do it. So here I am, I'm doing it.
Uh-huh.
Um, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm sorry. This is just such a loaded question. It's all pros. There's fucking
Uh-huh.
downsides to everything. It's all pros. I'm doing what I love. This is my fucking dream. I don't have to work a 9 to 5. That right there, I could fucking give my both my balls for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm living the fucking dream, and I don't discredit that at all. But there are the downsides of, like, I don't have a 401k. I don't have a white picket fence house yet. You know what I mean? And this definitely ain't the fucking career you're trying to take if you want any sort of security in your life, as
Right.
far as that goes. So That's out the window. Relationships are a lot harder when you got to fucking leave your spouse for months on end. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why there's a high divorce rate in the fucking music industry. So there's that fucking downside as well. You know, it makes relationships with people really hard to manage because at the end of the day, being a musician is like you kind of have to be full of yourself. You know, how much how far you want to pursue it is how full of yourself you are because you got to be invested in yourself. You have to be fucking. I've talked to the boys about this. You know, being a musician and party has to be fucking crazy.
Right.
You have to be
Uh-huh.
not normal and psychotic, and that's why we're all weird when you fucking meet us, dude. Because you have to be not normal to want to go sleep on the bus with 12 other dudes for 2 months to not get paid shit and play
uh,
shows to 50 people. You know what I mean? Who does that?
yeah.
We do because we love this crazy fucking thing so much. So when you ask me this question, that's why it's so hard to answer because it's
Uh,
just this loaded but you know, from the fans' perspective, yes, it's awesome to get on the stage and play these 6 shows when we get them and
right.
do the thing. But on the back end, all the stuff you don't see that happens as well. However, I am one of the lucky ones. I have a great girlfriend. When
Uh,
I go out, she's fucking awesome at home. I have a great fucking family. So I got nothing to fucking complain about.
right. Yeah.
But
Cool.
personal self-depression battles like everybody else.
Cool. 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 Let's get
So,
to the next.
anyways, there's your ultra long-winded answer to your question. Sorry about
Cool.
that.
Cool. Cool. Let's get to the next track. Feels so good.
Feels so good. It feels so good.
Uh-huh.
No, it's one of our favorite songs we've done. We wrote that with a good buddy of ours, Brandon Eisenbeis. He's uh he's a good buddy of the band, fantastic songwriter. So that was a killer song, fun to do.
How about make it look easy?
That was a song about me feeling myself.
Uh-huh.
Um, that was the first time I was ever in LA writing.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like the shit. I was really realizing where I was for the first time. First time being in LA, being a fucking songwriter. I was like, damn, I'm not in LA being a tourist coming here to pay for shit. You know what I mean? I'm being paid to be here. And
Right.
so that felt good. And I don't get a lot of cocky moments, but that sure was a good one. So I took advantage of it and wrote a song about it.
Cool. Cool. How about Scars? Which is a new single, right?
It is a new single. And you know what's fucked? You know, when you release so many songs, you kind of forget. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you say scars, and in my head, I'm like, I can't think of that because for us, the songs are working titles for so long,
Right.
right up until the release, and we're like, all right, what are we naming this? You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So that's like probably a piss on my face. That's probably what it was called in the studio, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the fuck. So it's a good song, I'm sure.
Cool, cool. Does an album really take that long to get released? Because like other interviews I did, they would go like, "Oh, I wrote that like 2 years ago. I don't even remember what I wrote about," you know? So like,
Totally. It's definitely different for each artist, you know what I mean? There's just different factors as to why things take so long in certain albums. Like, you know, the bigger you get, why does it take Metallica and ACD, not maybe not ACDC, but why does it take these bigger bands, you know, like a year or 2 years to, you know, more production value, more production costs, they can do shit where yeah, we were touring a lot. We were touring a lot in the first part, you know, the first year and a half, 2 years of our career, like pretty heavy right off the bat. So we would go and record songs here and there just to release singles. You know what I mean? Bands aren't really just dropping albums out the gate like that anymore.
yeah,
So yeah, we were releasing singles for a while, but then you know, up until a few weeks ago,
right.
we are like, all right, we got to get this shit out to the people. So here it is.
Cool, cool, cool. Seems like a lot of bands are just doing singles. And you know, after like a year or something, they'll put them all together and then make an album or something like that. And almost the last 5 or 10 interviews, they all said the same thing. We only do singles now, you know.
Totally. Did any of them tell you why?
They really didn't say why. They just said they put out a whole bunch of singles, and when they're done with the singles, they'll put out a special package, maybe a bonus song, and then a colored vinyl or something. This way, you buy that too.
For sure. That's okay. Well, I'll tell you why, and I'm going to tell you why because you know when I was younger in a band, I really wish I would have fucking heard this because a lot of bands a lot of local bands and stuff, they're killing themselves spending $10,000+ on an album, and then they just make a big deal about this album and they fucking drop all 12 songs, and
Right.
people are hyped about it for a couple weeks, few weeks
Yeah.
maybe,
Uh-huh.
and then that's it. Whereas if you drop each song one by one, you're stretching out. You
Right.
spent 10 grand on this album. You want to get
Yeah.
to the most bang for your buck. So you drop each song individually. So that's how you hype your shit up. Maybe leave three out and drop an album like we did. We had three extra tracks on there that we hadn't released as singles. But yeah, it's just hard because people's attention spans now, because of
Right.
reels and stuff, it's so short. Nobody's fucking listening through albums in one shot like that.
Right. Yeah.
Not hardcore. Not everybody's a hardcore music fan that does. So
Yeah.
so yeah, man, you just got to stretch your dollar like that, and you got to drop some. You got to create a hype around each song and drop them as is.
Right. Yeah. I just had an interview before yours, and that was with the guitar player for Tesla. And he said the
Ah,
same thing. Yeah.
killer.
Yeah. Dave Rude, I just did him. And he said the same thing. They just put out an EP, but they did one song on the EP, but four different versions, but only one song. And he
Yeah.
said that's what they're gonna
Okay. Wow.
yeah, they'll do like an acoustic version and then a plugged in version, then whatever else they did, but it was just one song recorded four
Oh,
times.
very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Oh,
Let's
wow. Very cool. Okay, there you go.
cool. Let's go to track number 10, Vain.
Vane. Oh, God, that's another one that I can't think of off the top of my head. Um, I want to say that's the song the old Davey boy wrote, our bass player, Dave Orton. Fucking love that man. God, I'm trying to skip. Can we
Okay.
do that?
how, how about
Skip.
Skin? The
I just
last
can't
track.
think. I can't remember the song. There's nothing I can give you.
Yeah. Let's go to the last track, Skin.
Oh, TV skin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one. Television skin was a phrase, a musical phrase, as far as like songs and lyrics and stuff that was thrown around of songwritings and shit that my dad did, and with uh, Jesse Holt, otherwise known as Maxie, another Seattle staple over here. Um, it's a total ripoff that I took from them. Television skin. That was always something that was mentioned, and that just always stuck in my head. Television skin, TV skin, just as a feeling,
Uh,
It's a crazy word. So yeah, that is the song title, and we made that song just to be an absolute banger, and that's what we close out some of our sets with. We love that tune,
cool,
so it
cool,
goes hard.
cool. You enjoy touring?
I love touring.
Uh,
Yeah.
cool,
I
cool.
love touring. It's yeah, I went trade for the world. We just went and did Europe with
Uh,
Des Rocks a few months ago, and that was just, what do you say? That was just an unbelievable experience. That was my first time being out of the country. I had to go get my passport to do that. So that was wild.
cool, cool. Let's go down the members of the band and tell me, what your feelings towards each guy is. Let's start with Mitch.
Hate him. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Mitch, oh man, he's obviously the first person I met in this band.
Uh,
And I remember coming and doing the audition for this band at El Corazon, which is a very famous club, dive club here in Seattle, also used to be known as the Off Ramp. Pearl Jam played some of their first shows there, Mookie Blaylock. Anyways, a lot of history is held there, so that's how I knew. I was like, all right, this guy knows what's up. He's got a place at Elko, he's doing something right. So we roll up, and Mitch answers the door, and he's just like, "What's up, dude?" And we start kicking it off, and we probably were there together for the first hours by ourselves, kind of vibing out, waiting for David Troy to get there. And we found out some quick common grounds. We both love to cook.
uh,
We love golfing, and we fucking love gambling. Love to gamble. That's a big one right there. So I was like, well, this isn't gonna be hard to get along with this guy. So we
uh,
were we were quick friends right off the bat, which made it super easy.
cool, cool.
Is just, I don't know how deep you want to get about these guys, but honest to God, Dave would probably he'd give the shirt off of his back to the people that are close to him. You know, he's one of the most loyal people I've ever met. So I appreciate that, man, for sure. And Troy as well, dude. Troy's my brother. All these guys are my brothers. That's the thing, you know, when you get in a band with people, it
Uh-huh.
really is like a marriage.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 100% married to these three other dudes.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And because it is that way sometimes you fight sometimes because you're fucking passionate about this thing that you're doing. So naturally tensions get flared sometimes. But you love each other, you know. We'll sit down together and cook family dinners and shit before we go and record when we fly out to LA and do some recording sessions and stuff. It's just a beautiful thing, man. I love these guys. And make no mistake, people that are listening, I am fucking lucky
Uh-huh.
because there are some bands out there where dudes hate each other and
Uh-huh.
they are pulling it together because of that thing I was talking about earlier, that thing that makes us crazy because we love music so much. They're pulling it together and eating shit sandwiches every day on tour. You know, because you know what it's like being in a workplace and there's that one guy who's an asshole.
Yeah.
It'll fuck your whole thing up. So I'm lucky because I love my boys very dearly. And I think that's one of the things that really makes one of our live shows so good too, is because you can see that. You know, there ain't no acting. We're just flying off the handle off a whim, pushing each other, spitting on each other. It's hilarious.
You have any merchandise you like to talk about where people could get it?
Yeah, you know, the casual, I don't know. I'm not really a t-shirt salesman. I think that shit's cheesy. I hate it.
Uh-huh.
But we got band stuff. We got merch stuff online. If you go to moonfever.com, I'm sure you can find some shit there. Um we're trying to we're trying to update our merch. We're slacking in the merch department online at least, but at least for shows and stuff, we've been talking about doing one-off designs that you can only get at
Uh-huh.
shows, and then
Cool.
we'll just have your basic Moon Fever apparel online. But
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. So what's the best thing you cook?
Oh fuck, man. Well, you're in the right place, my man, because I like to cook Italian. That's my
Uh-huh.
favorite thing. And I will tell you what, brother, I cook an amazing chicken parm and spaghetti bolognese.
Uh-huh.
So
Do you
no big deal.
you use fresh tomatoes?
I do use fresh
Yeah.
tomatoes. I do. God damn, I forget. The name is killing me off the top of my head, but it's that yellow can. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's the yellow can.
San Mar San Mar San
That's
Mar
it. You got
yeah.
it. It's Brian. That's
Marzano.
what I was trying
Marzano.
to. Sam Arsanos. That's correct.
Yeah. See, I
Yeah,
cook.
dude. I
I
got
cook.
yes. What's your go-to dish that you make when you're trying to impress somebody?
Same thing, pasta. Definitely pasta because it's really the sauce. You got to have a good
Absolutely.
sauce. You know,
Absolutely. I
right?
agree 100%.
It's not the pasta. You can get any pasta. But it definitely has to be semolina. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
You know, not to take this into too much of a left field, but this one's for me and you. The other night I made this delicious the sauce was very simple. You put butter in there, olive oil, you do some
uh,
shallots, some garlic, you let that fucking cook away, and then you throw a little bit of wine in there, and
yeah,
then you throw your pasta in there, let it
yeah,
all heat up, warm up, mix together, and then you just put a shit ton of Parmesan cheese. Little bits at a time to let it melt through. My man, it was so simple. One of
uh,
the fucking best pastas I've ever had. So simple. It was like de Pepe simple.
cool, cool. Yeah, this week I did clams and linguine.
Oh
So
man, you're living like a king over there, dude. What are you doing?
you know, so I enjoy cooking. You know, but
As do I, my man.
I make sure if it sucks before my wife gets home, I throw it in the garbage, start over. You know.
You got some ordered on the back line, ready to go.
Yeah. Well, Tristan, it was great talking to you like a friend. Really
Absolutely,
cool.
yeah. Thanks for letting me talk your ear off, man. I'm fucking annoying and long-winded. So,
Cool, cool. Would you like to say anything to fans out there?
oh man, I love you guys, and thank you for making everything possible. We can't literally can't. I know it's cliche, but we can't do this without you. So,
Cool.
thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. See you later.
Thank you, brother.
Bye bye.